Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be back on Banished again. We're going to do another playthrough. I know my last video somehow ended up to be approximately an hour, so that was a bit intense there. Um, I don't know how long this one's going to end up being, but we'll find out. Um, so I have learned a couple of new things just by reading some stuff on the internet and such. Um, excuse me. One thing is I'm going to have to watch my population because after a certain age, um, I guess people stop reproducing. And if you let your population get, you let your people get too old without having new houses for people to reproduce and move into, then you start to run into an issue where you can run out of citizens, and you won't have anybody else to reproduce, so they're pretty much going to go away. And you'll pretty much be done with the game because you cannot produce enough citizens or whatnot. So that's just something to keep in mind there. So we're going to build a couple more houses for the time being. That way we can make sure we keep the population up, and apparently from what I've gathered, there are ways to get other types of food or other cattle or sheep or whatnot. Not sure how you go about that, but apparently there's a way. And also from what I've gathered, crop fields are not necessarily a good source of food. Now, I don't know how that gathers or whatnot, but I've read a couple places that said fields are pretty slow in gathering food and to look for other ways, so I'm not really sure what they mean too much by that, but yeah, that's pretty much that. Still looking pretty good here. The coats were at 51. Tools were up in 40s, so we're pretty good there. Firewood's keeping up pretty well for now, so that's not too bad. Logs are down to 200. We've got 2 people working on that, so we may have to get a third working on that if we start to drop too much. Food's not looking too bad. 750 beef, 2,500 peppers, and about 200, almost 300 peaches, and about 50 fish, so that's not too bad. Here you can hear trees and stuff coming down, so they're working. They produced 58 logs, 8 stone, and 9 iron this season. 60 logs. So like I said, with the iron and stone, they'll eventually clear all this iron and stone out of their tree area, and they'll constantly keep this up as a tree farm, and they'll remove this stuff and put more trees in, obviously, so that's sweet there. It's scrolling so slow for some reason. Next, what we're going to do, because, well, we can, we're going to go to our pathways. We're going to get a wooden bridge. Now, I don't know if they're going to let me do all the way. Sweet. So we're going to put a wooden bridge right here next to the fishing dock. Looks like they're working pretty quick on that, so that's good. Got a random tree that came out of nowhere that I don't want there. I'm going to knock that sucker down. Alright, so we'll notice these 2 new houses. One's already full, and the other one is still empty. I did say I was going to make some stone houses, but apparently I obviously did not, so yeah. We'll notice both of those are full. So that's good. We'll do a flip around here. Like this. And we'll drop 3 new stone houses behind them. Firewood is getting a bit low. So that could be a potential problem. Now what I don't get with this firewood place is you can only put 1 person here. But if there's 3 chopping logs, or chopping stations, why couldn't I put 3 people in here and have 1 work here, 1 work here? I think, and 1 work here. I think that would be a lot faster than having this lady constantly run back and forth between all 3 of these. And then she's got to take time out, run over here to the storage pile, get some logs, and take them back. Now, in my opinion, that's just absolutely crazy. Now, I could just be crazy, but you know, that's what I think. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and clear out some stuff over here. Get this started. Yeah. Tools are still good, coats are still up there, firewood's coming in, the logs are going down. We need to get some of these trees and stuff taken out so we can get a little bit more wood there. Also, I'm going to get rid of these berries or whatnot that's here. I don't know really what those are, but I'm going to get rid of those too. Also want to throw a dirt road here. Because we don't have a stone mine, I'm only sitting at about 63 stone. We're still going to stick with dirt roads for now. Like I said, we'll eventually bump those up once we get the stone mine cooking. But stone mine is not going to come out for quite a little bit now. Just because we don't really have anybody to do it. So that's that. Once we do get a stone mine cooking, we'll probably stick it somewhere pretty random, I'm not gonna lie. It does require quite a bit of space. Maybe right there might be a good spot for it if it'll sit there, because that's not really a space I really have want to really put anything else, and that'll keep the stone mine somewhat close by, but it'll keep it far enough away. Now if we could just build up these houses, we should be good. Should be starting to get a few workers here soon. We got a 9-child there, a couple of 2 children there, got a 3-child there, got a 10 student there, 13 student, 13 student, 12 student, 1 child. So we should be getting a couple workers soon. Hopefully soon, before these other people die off, because that would be fantastic. We could get some people in here. All kinds of stinking deer running around. But like I said, I don't really want to hunt these because they're too inconsistent. But I may make a hunter eventually once we get more people built up in the village here. I think the intentions are going to be to eventually just fill this whole section here with, well, housing, maybe. Either that or continue the housing backwards that way. I'm not really sure. They're not producing because there are no materials to perform. So, yeah, you have no wood, so one, you're going to go down. I'll just throw you over in forestry right now to help out with the trees a little bit. 335 firewood should be good for a little while. It's not great, but it'll be good for now. I also like how none of these houses are uniform, which is kind of cool. Just because you'd never see, not every house is going to look the same. Not everybody's going to build their house the same, so that's pretty cool. There's a few different designs. You have this one, which is kind of, just your normal front there with a little bit on the side. You have this one that's got an overhang on the front. You have this one, which has got a little smaller overhang on the front. And then you got an extra kind of side room there. And then you got this one, which is kind of like this, but it's sort of the opposite. I mean, then you got kind of, just a little bit of variety there, which I think is kind of cool. So that's that. It's starting to become fall because you notice the trees have changed over there, so that's that. We're waiting on wood there. In the meantime, we're going to drop that guy to a laborer, and what he should do is he should get busy and start removing trees and such from over here. Now I'll watch the tools. When the tools get down to about 15, I want to say, I'll probably throw that guy as a blacksmith, run up a couple tools. It's now winter time, so that means the 5 farmers should be busy doing other things. Such as tree removal and putting my logs back where they belong. So I'll run this guy back into the blacksmith, just so we keep the tool population up. And so we got all the materials we need for the house. We'll just have to get a builder soon, which will take a little while because I want to build up a few more tools. Probably let him run that back up to like 50 or so. And then we'll go with that. Also, get that little bush out of the way. I believe these are berries here, if I'm not mistaken. You can make a hunter or a gatherer or whatever it is. It's a gatherer right here, and they pretty much search for roots and berries. So, in other words, the giant mushrooms that you see, along with these little berry bushes, and got some mushrooms right here. These mushroom-looking things. Pretty much what they'll do is they'll search a forest for those and keep those cleaned out of an area. I don't know, I'm not too concerned about that. Don't particularly care. Since this seems to be working as a good food source for me, which I don't know why they're saying it's not. I don't know, maybe there's a better way to do it so that you don't have to have so many workers working for such a sort of small population of food. I'm not really sure. The blacksmith is slowly moving. Where's he? Over here. It's got 9 logs, a couple pieces of iron, that's not bad. He'll work his way up. They're slowly getting this area cleaned out over here. Yeah, it's taking him a bit. Did I tell him to get this stone right here? I don't know if I did or not, but I did now, so... I also want this on him. This... My intentions are eventually to clean this out, but I don't want him to clean out too much stuff at one time, just for the fact that if we have him set to clean out too much stuff, it'll take him a while, and they'll get a backed up kind of queue, so it'll take him too long to clean stuff up, and we don't want him to do that in case something comes up where we need an actual area cleared for a building or something. That's just me kind of clearing this out just to have it clear. Alright. obviously there's no citizens available to work there. Blacksmith has ran up 43 tools. We're going to throw you back at a woodcutter. We're down to 22 firewood after that winter. So we definitely need to crank up some stuff there. School seems to be working, so we're going to let the school go. I'll probably leave that there, just because of the fact that they're students, which means once they get to the adult life, they eventually will have a higher productivity. So I guess that means they work more efficiently and faster for their time, which in my opinion is probably a good thing. At least it seems like. I don't know. I didn't really see anything about how people feel about how schools work. I just mostly saw some stuff about basic food stuff, and also about population. Watch your population. Don't let it decrease too much, because if it decreases too much and your people get too old, they didn't really say what age, but they said after a certain age they stop reproducing. So if your whole population gets over a certain level, or the majority of your population gets over a certain age level, they will not be able to produce anymore, so you're pretty much in trouble there. We're starting to clean those bushes out back there, so that's good. I don't know what he did with that bush. It looked like he took the bush and put it in here, but I never actually saw that come up in the inventory, so maybe it was just taken away really quick, eaten real faster. Maybe he stuck it in his pocket and kept the berries for himself. I don't know. Yeah, you're working good there on the peppers. We're also working good on peaches. We're waiting for firewood to stack back up, or someone to get old enough. Now these are 13 and 17 students. That students should be about ready to kick over to adults. Now, I'm not sure if making them students is actually hurting their, or not hurting, but kicking their work age back a bit. In my opinion, that's kind of what it seems like it's doing, is it's bumping the time or the age that they go into labor forces, kind of messing with that. Oh, okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I know we're trying to follow this student, but you are attending school. You have crap for happiness, which is fantastic, because honestly, I can't really work on happiness right now. I'm sorry. That'll come eventually. Now for happiness, we have a lot of things we can do. You have a hospital, which eventually you'll need for diseases, but I don't know if we'll get diseases because I have disasters turned off, and I don't know if a disease is a disaster. We also have a town hall, which is used to record and show census data, so I guess that's pretty much will show your people over time. And then you have a church, which will provide happiness and a place for people to meet and worship. We got one worker. You're going to become a builder for the time being. Looks like we don't have a lot of fish and stuff, but we still have a lot of peppers, so that's good. As long as we have some food, we won't have people dying of starvation, so we should be good there. We just got to keep an eye on that. We got another worker. You, my friend, are going to be a blacksmith. Get our tools back up. I want to get our tools back up to capacity, and then we'll kick him back to something else. We also got another one, so that's fantastic there. What do we want to do with you? For the time being, we're going to drop one as a tailor. We got another guy that just popped up, and we're going to drop the other as a fisherman for right now. Actually, I lied. Drop you from fisherman. We're going to run the forester at full capacity. Just for the time being, so we can build up some logs. Maybe once we get quite a bit of logs built up here, if these guys can keep up with it, which they should be able to, then maybe we'll open a stone mine, and we'll get that stone coming in, because that'll help out quite a bit. Obviously, now that we got a builder, he doesn't have anything to do. So we're gonna go ahead and give him something to do. I know he was putting in that dirt road there, which I thank him for, but much rather have some houses thrown down. I don't know why I built all those as stone houses. That was probably a very, very poor idea. Sitting them down to 75 still. The tailor is currently out of stuff to do. So, for the time being, we will go to the fishing department. I think it's 4. 4 is what you can run over here. I want to say, well, it's set at 4, yeah, so 4 is the maximum. Some things, usually they set at 4, but you can increase them higher than 4. Like the farm, it starts out set at 4, but you can increase that up to 6. So that's crazy there. I guess 6 people would be pretty adequate for a farm. Orchards you can also jack that way up too, but I have no interest in doing so. Now, how well did they do with cleaning out what I wanted cleaned out? Pretty well. Just a little bit of stone left and some iron over here I wanted them to grab. So we'll set that section there to be cleaned out too. Got another person available. We'll throw you in as a... Oh boy, what do we want to do? We'll make you a builder for the moment. But I think it's time to open up the quarry. Where did I say I wanted to put this guy in? Obviously, like I said, he requires quite a bit of space. Gonna drop you there. We're also going to drop this guy right there because we do need a bridge for people to obviously get over there to that to work. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. This is a tunnel. Requires 4 pieces of stone per distance length. Interesting. So can I run a... Oh. Well, I could run a tunnel through here, but I don't know that I want to. Let's see, what do we got going on over here? We do have a bit of space over here, so we might just do that for the time being. There's a bridge in sort of there, so let's just sort of do something like that. See what happens. Requires 136 stone and 102 build time. We'll obviously put our other worker now, for the minute, in as a builder, so we can get some stuff built up. We got quite a lot to build up. And yeah, you're done. There, and we'll make you fish. Also, woodcutter, we're not going to need you. Tailor's not going to work because obviously there's no leather, so that's not going to happen. Well, we want to make you a stone cutter, but we got to get that stone built, or the stone mine built up, since there's a lot of things to build. Not a lot of logs. Not usually a good sign. Should be quite a bit of logs coming in if these guys would get to it. Yes, we know the reserve of stone is pretty much done. That's why we're working on getting some stone in. Come on, people. Also, you'll notice, if we could scroll over there a little faster, that'd be fantastic. You'll notice we're going to be getting a lot of iron and stone in from when they start building this thing. There's 114 somethings to remove from there. Looks like most of that is iron, a little bit of stone in this lighter rock here, and then there's a few trees, so that'll be good. We can definitely use that stone once they get to building. Also, we're pretty much out of stone because we got to build that, and that's 136 stone, so yeah, not looking too hot. Also building some stone houses, which, like I said, I probably should not have built stone houses. Probably should have just built some wood ones, but whatever. Stone houses will be good for, you know, we'll get whatever we gotta get done. Okay, throw another builder in. I'm throwing builders in just for the fact that I want to get some stuff built up. There's quite a few things that need built. We gotta build this house up, we gotta build that tunnel up, there's a bridge that's gotta be built, and then we gotta build up that stone mine, and we need to get that stone mine cranking right away. Now we could pause production on this house, but I figure since it's already in the works, we'll just get it done, get it out of the way. If they would ever get to getting enough stone for it. Farmers should be back to work. Yes, they are. So that's good there. Farmers are cranking there. Still growing peaches over here. Yeah, we'll just let the peaches grow. I thought about switching to walnuts, but then I decided not to, so we'll just let the peaches grow. Eventually we might change up this field and grow some wheat or something in it too. Just so there's a little something different. Most of the people right now, as you can see, are running off of pretty much fish and peppers, mostly just peppers. Some have quite a few fish. Some people are freezing cold now, because we don't have any firewood, but we don't really have a lot of wood, so bit of an issue, but we'll have to have somebody start cranking some firewood out. Slowly, but we'll have to do it. Most of these houses have a pretty good stash of firewood built up. We're looking at about 18, so that's not bad. It's also pretty good, or probably pretty good, that we're starting to run stone houses. Like I said earlier, the stone houses provide more warmth than the wooden houses, so they were going to require a little bit less firewood to keep those up to temperature so that we get this snowflake to go away. I don't know why it doesn't seem like cows are really producing much. Apparently they produced 3 logs last season. Not sure how they did that, but that's pretty cool, I guess. Can't complain about that. Last season we also produced 4 logs and what is that, 1,000 peppers. I understand, I bet you where the logs are coming from. From what I'm gathering, I'm guessing trees are starting to grow in there, and they're just taking care of them, keeping them out of the place. 148 peaches last year. We seem to be doing okay with firewood now. We're starting to get some in. We're also starting to get a little bit of that stone in we'll need. I don't know what they started building first. Did they start on this first? They're starting to drop stone there. So they dropped 6 there. I know whatever this is low. Stone is low, obviously, and firewood is low, obviously. They're not going to start on that yet because they can't. They're starting to get the wood over for the bridge. What is this? Looks like a lot of iron. Well, whatever that is, let's go ahead and clean that. Because I could probably use that and we'll just clean this. Looks like a bunch of iron too. so it doesn't really matter what it is. We'll clean it out because I'm sure I'll use it eventually. Now, I also read a lot of things while reading up about this game, just trying to figure out what, people's thoughts were and, what kind of problems and stuff they were running into. A lot of people were saying this game is kind of boring, and in a way, I'll have to sort of agree with them. Now, at the beginning stages like this, once you're starting to establish things, it's pretty boring because there's really nothing to do besides sit back and wait and wait and wait and wait for people to get, happy and start producing more citizens. Now, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, that's pretty much the case. It's sit back and wait for people to do their thing. Not much I can really do about it. Kind of sad, but very true. So, we gotta go to produce houses. So we'll do 3 more wooden houses for now. Those will eventually get built sometime between now and never. Yeah. Obviously, we're still down quite a bit. We're down over 100 stone on producing that tunnel. Maybe the tunnel wasn't the greatest idea, but I think it will eventually help. So, So, yeah. Alright, sorry about that. I had to take care of a quick message real fast. It was something important. So yeah, anyway, like I was saying earlier, I mean, it is kind of boring in a way. Not really a whole lot to do right now. Like I said, I'm just kind of sitting here doing absolutely nothing. So, yeah. Now, I'm assuming that if a builder doesn't have the materials that the builder needs, I'm assuming that the builder is going to try to remove trees and rocks and stuff that I have set to be taken down. Now that's what I'm going to assume. How correct I am, not too sure, but yeah. Alright, so you notice there's 8 stone, 5 iron, 115 logs. So you'll notice, now that there's 4 people constantly working here, the production will start to increase. Eventually, this iron and stone number should pretty much bottom out to like maybe 1 or 2 apiece, and then the log numbers should skyrocket through the roof once we eventually get all that stuff taken care of. Reserve of logs is low, yes, thank you for telling me. We're down to 23 pieces of wood. And wipe those trees out. Don't need those. Those will eventually probably need to be removed anyway. I don't know. I probably won't put anything over here. Just because this is kind of like a little pathway tunnel type thing that funnels into this forest that I'm working here, so I probably won't put anything over here other than potentially another field right here if I can. Or maybe an orchard. Put an orchard there, maybe. I don't know. We'll find something to put there eventually. Pretty much just sitting here waiting to see what goes down. Did they get most of that stone? They did. I know there's a lot of iron here, but I don't really want all this iron right now. I'd much rather have them focus on getting the rest of that stone out of there so I can build stuff. Stuff I'm waiting on building is requiring stone as opposed to anything else. Mostly stone and wood. Tools are at 37. But I don't really have the wood or the iron to make more right this minute, so we're going to hold off on that. Now, let's see here. Bridge. They're working on the bridge. They're also working on this. We're going to go ahead and pause construction on this real quick here, just for the fact that I don't need this, so to speak. It'll be a useful thing because they'll be able to walk through here as opposed to walk all the way around. But for right now, I really want this bridge to get up, and then once they get this bridge up, then they can get this thing cracking over here, and the stone will start coming in. And here comes the winter. Which means farmers should be going to work on removing resources that I want them to remove. Also, something else I can do, which I'm probably going to go ahead and do right now, is if I slate most of the stone in this area for removal, what will happen is those workers, like I said, when the farmers can't farm, they pretty much will go out and they'll start removing stuff. So they'll pretty much hit the X stone over here and get that out first. That way these guys here can produce wood and not have to worry about getting all the stone out of their area. So that's good there. I'm starting to get a little piece of stone in, and obviously that stone went right out the door. They need to get 6 stone, and they need to get it over here quickly. Now, I don't particularly know what they're using all this stone for. There's 2 things that need built. There's this, and that bridge, and then there's obviously the stone mine, but they can't get to the stone mine yet, so I don't know where all the stone is going. You don't need stone for your house. Nobody stocks stone. You obviously don't need stone over here, so you're not stocking stone. Farmers aren't even working now, so that's not even a question. Now, Taylor doesn't need stone. The blacksmith doesn't stock stone. He stocks iron and logs. So that's pretty much that. And the firewood woodcutter people don't really stock anything either other than some logs, so they don't need stone. Fisherman doesn't need stone, so I don't know where the 6 pieces of stone are at. They keep disappearing. I've seen 6 pieces pop in, but I don't know where they're disappearing to. They're not going here because that's stuck at 31%, and 2 of them have made it over here. So unless people are taking them over here, but they're just, I bet you that's what it is. People are carrying the stone over here, but because they have to walk literally all the way around, it's a bit crazy for them. So that's the intentions of putting this tunnel here that's eventually going to drive directly straight through right to this bridge, or very close to this bridge. And then the bridge will run pretty much close directly into the stone mine, and then I'll eventually connect those up with the road, and then they can just run right over. Alright, so they got the stone. They just need 18 builder. We need 11 builders technically because we have this queued. Even though it's paused, we have that queued, so we're technically saying 11 builders just for the fact that they want 4 builders on this. They probably want 2 on that, and the stone mine they want 3. So yeah, that's pretty intense there. So if you do 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 9. I don't know how they have 11. I'll get their number. That's 4. The bridge is 5, 6, and then this is 7, 8, and 9. But they're asking for 11. Not really sure why they're asking for 11. Nothing else is set to be built that's not built yet. Interesting number. 4. Yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. That's whatever. All I know is that they need to get their butt into gear. And now, you notice I'm running this at a times 10 speed, so imagine running this at a normal, slower speed. Now, some people out there may like that. Some people like, you know, relaxed, slow games, and that if you like that, that's fantastic. But for me, I like a fast-paced, always moving, things always changing type game. And if you run at a 10 a 10 speed, like I am now, you'll notice a few things pretty much. One of them is you'll notice that, yeah, people say that you consume food faster, and people say that, you know, if there's a disaster, they're a little harder to take care of. But also, you have to remember, you're gathering food faster, so you're using 10 times the amount of food, but you're also gathering 10 times the amount of food. So you got to remember that too. Plus, you also have to remember if a disaster does happen, you can really crank it down pretty quick. And also, you know, your building speed is 10 times faster than it normally would be. So if you place a house, instead of it taking, you know, if it takes 10 minutes to build the house on a times 1, on times 10, you're only going to take a minute to build the house. So that's also something you have to keep in mind there. They finally got that wooden bridge up, and they're looking like they're starting on the removal of stuff out of here, so that's great. We want to get that done. Cutting down some trees, mining some stuff. That's pretty good. So that guy walked all the way over there, cut down one tree, walked all the way back. Another guy walks all the way over here, mines one little rock, walks all the way back. Sorry, but I don't understand the logic. You may, but I do not understand it. Still cranking here. Pretty much just waiting for them to get that stone mine built. Honestly, it's a waiting game. Nothing I can do. I have no stone, and I'm almost out of wood. Now once they get that stone mine built, we'll have some stone coming in, which is good. And eventually, we will crack open another one of these foresters. But for now, pretty much gonna let that run its pace. Another worker, hey? Ah, we got 4 fishermen. What is something else we could use? For the time being, I'm just gonna make them, honestly, all builders. Get this stuff built up, and then once we get the stone mine open, cut the builders down to about 2, and then run probably 4 people in the stone mine. I think, or 3. We'll max that out at 3. So we'll drop 3 of these guys off over here, and then the rest of the guys will have them start working on building through on this bridge, or the tunnel I mean, and then once we get the tunnel up, we should be pretty set there. Also, they're starting to get to these trees over here that I wanted down earlier, so that's good there. But I really, really, really want them to get this stone mine up and working. They got the 40 iron, the 80 log is going to take quite a long time to get. But there are a few trees in here that they're cutting down, so that should help. And the dumbest thing about this whole thing is you'll notice that they're going to dig 40 iron probably out of this square. They're also cutting down probably a good maybe 10, at least 15 of the logs that they need, and they're going to carry them all the way back, and then somebody's going to pick them up and turn them all the way back over here. So that's a bit annoying. Look at this lady go. She was on the move, man. She was getting things done. She cut down a couple trees, knocked out some stone there, knocked out some iron. She was on the move. Got Wonder Woman working over there. Now I really want to get this going too, because it's really killing me to build that, with the fact that they're having to run all the way around that mountain. But I know if I start the production on this thing, it's really going to kill the production on that. I think we're just going to let this guy run. See what happens. See if they can't get this thing built up real quick. I don't know how they're going to do that, but we'll see what happens. Alright, well, I'm not really sure how long this has been, but I'm sure this is probably a good spot to go ahead and end this video. Pretty much between this video and next, I'm just going to sit here and pretty much wait until they build up the stone mine. We get that cracking, and then I'm also going to wait until they build up the little bridge, or the tunnel, I mean, excuse me, and get that cracking. Also, you'll notice we have more workers here. So we're going to go ahead and open the farm. I don't know why it says it's stopped. We do have enough workers. Wait, I don't get it. Why will you not let me unstop the farm? Oh, work. Huh. Never mind. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get this stuff running here. So once we get that cracking, we should be pretty good on that. Right now we're just so that'll be good there. We'll get some more food going here, get the tunnel done, get the stone done. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, please leave a like below. Also leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think of this game. Let me know if anybody's got it yet, or tried it, or, you know, checked it out at least. Also, please subscribe and stay tuned for more great Banished videos and other games. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.